would they catch him more? When would they hold him more? Oh yeah, time have come. Food have done, eh? You put food is ready. Ngwano. All right. So moving on, alleged 80.2 billion naira fraud. Kogi youths protest EFCC's move to arrest Yahaya Bello. Oh, okay. So let's even go to other issues concerning Yahaya Bello. Court orders EFCC to serve Yahaya Bello 80 billion naira fraud charges through his lawyer. Since you know one show face, more than 7 through in lawyer, whether that one go better pass, abi? Okay. And then moving on, So Yahaya Bello says, EFCC says Yahaya Bello withdrew $720,000, almost $1 million from government accounts to pay child school fees. Child, not children. Child's school fees. Okay. This is according to the EFCC. Lagos. I guess that issue is still unfolding. We'll get to some other issues concerning it as we move on. But let's go to other issues. Drugs price hike, like life expectancy reduction imminent in Nigeria, experts say. In case you don't understand the grammar, they say the price of medicine for Nigeria don't cost. So the number of years that people supposed to live before for Nigeria now, it could don't reduce because of say people not fit to buy medicine again, but they forfeit treat themselves. All right, so we still move on to other issues very quickly. Police storm Abuja lead British school over alleged bullying of student. That matter. Well, we have a child counselor or a guardian counselor who will be joining us on the show today to put a perspective to that. Trigger happy policeman kills car member, injures loud tech graduate in Oyo State, and of course, that has led to quite some, comfortable situation in Oyo State. Man 30 defiles landlady's 13-year-old daughter in River State. I cannot see a story like that and keep my look the other way. So that story concerning Abuja British School, right? Abuja British School shut down over bullying, assault of student. You would give you the details of that. But moving on, Peter Obi and I never believed in ideologies of Labour Party. Some would say Donye Kukwe spills the beans. All right. Ex-Imo governor Ihedioha resigns from PDP. That has been trending all evening. Like, why did you resign, Oga? And there's a statement that reads, Tinubu continued Nigeria's massive corruption by appointing Treasury looter Atiku Bagudu to cabinet. US official says so. Okay, so we'll move on to other conversations. The little girl, the girl who bullied her schoolmate is saying, I wish it never happened and I apologize. Abuja school student who bullied colleague apologizes. But will apology change the situation? It doesn't look like it will. Lagos, these are the issues we'll be looking at this evening. My name is Precious Inye. Let's take a quick breather as we begin to dissect the conversation one at a time. This is the Evening Rush 90.3, Voice of the People FM. We'll be right back.
Listen to hot critical analysis and top trending topics of the day. Join Precious, Monday to Friday, 7 to 9 p.m. on The Evening Rush.
All right, Lagos, you are welcome back. It is still 90.3 Voice of the People FM, 17 minutes past 7 o'clock right here in our studio. Yes, let's get started with the conversations. Of course, we cannot start with us starting with Sirika. All right. So the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission has arrested former Minister of Aviation, Hadi Sirika, over an ongoing 8 million. Sorry, how can I say million? Let me take it again. Over an ongoing 8 billion, 69,176,864 naira money laundering probe. I like it when I call the money in full like that, so you understand. If I just say 8.8 billion naira, you don't know that there is a whole 69 million after the 8 billion. Do you understand? So I persist it for you like that. So the incident, the indicted former Minister of Aviation arrived at the Federal Capital Territory Command of the EFCC at about 1 p.m. today, Tuesday. It was confirmed by reporters. Some reporters who was at the Wuse office of the EFCC observed that the embattled former minister's arrival at the anti-graft agency's Abuja was indeed correct. Following his arrival at the command, Sirika is currently meeting with EFCC's investigators to answer questions on alleged fraudulent contracts awarded by him to company known as Engirios Nigeria Limited, owned by his younger sibling, Abubakar Sirika. That is, they say it answer question about money where be said them pay from accounts, government account, to one company with the award contract with the name na Injurious Nigeria Limited, and a younger brother get the company. Impeccable anti-graft sources who spoke on the condition of anonymity because they were not authorized to speak confirmed the development to newsmen today. In fact, quoting them, they say, yes, that was Hadi Sirika who was taken into the EFCC custody. He is currently meeting with EFCC investigators over the alleged 8 billion 69,176,864 naira aviation ministry contract fraud. That is this now one, just one fraud. A source revealed. Now, another source also confirmed the amount of the money by the aviation ministry contract fraud, carried out in connivance rather, with the younger brother Abubakar Sirika through the latter's company. So, that's about it. You remember that it was reported that the EFCC was investigating the activities of the aviation ministry under the former Sirika for conspiracy, or under the former minister Sirika for conspiracy, abuse of office, diversion of public funds, and contract inflation. Now, a credible source who spoke to newsmen on anonymity revealed that the Anti-Graft Commission is investigating the activities of the aviation ministry for conspiracy, abuse of office, diversion of public funds, and contract inflation. The money involved is said to be 4 aviation contracts from the former minister to company known as Injurious Nigeria Limited, owned by his siblings. So can you explain why now your brother could receive this contract? Apart from being listed as the company's managing director and chief executive officer, Abubakar is said to be the sole signatory to the company's 2 accounts. That is now Liam be the signatory. I am a sole signatory to my company's account. Yeah, because not be me and you they run the company, even though I have board of directors, right? So that's the way this is. Like, he's a sole signatory to the account. Both their normal account and the domiciliary account, all the accounts domiciled in 2 banks in Nigeria. One with red, one with blue, a bit green, orange green, a bit sea green color. So it was further revealed that the ex-minister's younger brother, Abubakar Sirika, has been arrested and detained by the commission in connection with 3,212,258,930 naira paid to his company, Injurious Nigeria Limited bank account by the former minister, Gongon, and the minister paid this money to his brother. It was noted that there is no trace of work done on any of the contract items. That is, all the money within PM, one single work like this, Shingmai, they never do. The source said Abubakar Sirika, who was arrested on Sunday, February 4, has since been assisting the commission in its probe of the aviation ministry's financial expenditure during his brother's tenure. The FCC investigator said, we're investigating. In fact, my mouth don't fool. Joining me in the studio is my Tuesday tonic, my Tuesday guest, if you like, call him tonic a guest. Of course, and I told you he's an heir to the throne, right? Prince Francis Chilaka is with me in the house. Prince Francis, thank you so much. It's always a pleasure to have you join me every evening, every Tuesday. Thank you. You just start with this, your soprano voice, now then you change it. Yeah, welcome. Thank you. Go ahead. Is it the money that is beating you, that's battered you like this? You look knackered. You look knackered, like the money dealt with you.
Nigeria stinks.
Sorry.
Our leadership
Apologies.
stinks. Everything about leadership in this country stinks. Everyone who has gone into government goes there just to satisfy themselves. I just think that some people think that the national wealth is still coming from abroad. Maybe they think we're still being ruled by our colonial masters. So they believe that the money that is coming from abroad, either as loan or whatever, ends up in individual pockets. It is really, really shameful. What we're seeing, what we're hearing, that our leaders are doing is shameful. It is sad. And I ask myself, how do these people sleep at night? How do they get to sleep? How do their children get to function? How do their wives get to move around freely? Why are people so shameless? How can one man steal? I mean, that's just one of the monies he has stolen. 8 billion. What does he want to do with such money? I hope and I pray that tomorrow we will not be hearing plea bargain. We will not be hearing a situation where they will say, oh, he's returning 1 billion, so we'll let him go. I hope so. I feel so pained. I feel so demoralized hearing the kind of money our so-called leaders steal from us, the ordinary masses of this country. And yet, insecurity is there. Yet, we don't have good educational system. Yet, we don't have electricity. And one man will sit down and steal the entire budget of a ministry. It's just like what is happening in Abia State, where they're looking for their airport. Is it not laughable?
But Oga Ikpeazu has answered with Uti.
What did he answer?
He answered now. He said, I be like, say, get something again.
No. What I mean, I listened to that. What did he never said anything? He never came out to say, okay, these things I'm being accused of. This. That is not, I mean, holding a press conference or getting your PA or your SA to write a speech is not the point. Something is wrong, definitely, with the mindset of our leaders. It is really, really sad.
Okay, so moving forward, do you see this heading anywhere? A lot of people have said that some of these are just basically initial gra. I mean, how many of these investigations have actually been successful? We still have the former minister, the former accountant general issue with a 109 billion naira still at large. They said, oh, they made him release a certain amount of money, But large sum of that money is still at large. I mean, still nowhere to be found. And Yoga is still working free after perhaps, I don't want to say plea bargain or perhaps, being granted bail. So do you also see some bail settlements and perhaps plea bargain, and then, everyone to your tent, to Israel?
So long as we have weak institutions, nothing would ever work in this country. We have the most weakest link, which is institutions. We don't have punishment for crime. The only people that get punished
but we have laws that profile such punishments.
The only people that get punished in this country are the poor people, the masses.
Oh, wow.
They're just the only people that get punished. In other words, if you're in government and you want to steal money, you steal more than enough so you can get the balance of what you're stolen for settlement. Like I said, I'm like every other Nigerian that is skeptical about this whole brouhaha going on. Because at the end of the day, we may not even get to the end of the tunnel.
Where the light is.
We may not.
But there's light, though. The light to show us the road now.
The light is there, but how many people want to follow that light?
Ew.
That is why you see an ex-governor telling you, I want to come to EFCC, but I'm afraid of being arrested. What kind of talk is that?
Now that you have said that, I didn't want to go there directly. Now you have led me to that place now.
Is it not insanity?
And the EFCC saying he's withdrawn over $700,000 to pay school fees. Now let's get to Yahaya Bello's issue. What does his case portend to youth who are vying for such high political offices? Because at the time he won election, youth had some confidence that he's seizing his early 40s. People thought that's about the youngest governor we're going to have, and he's going to be very productive. So we thought there were high expectations from him. But there was little or no development that matches that expectation even after he's left office. What does that mean to youth, involvement
in politics? It's not about youth involvement in politics.
He's a youth.
It's not about youth involvement in governance. It's about too many other factors. Upbringing. That is...
So whether you're young, old...
it's not about it's about the upbringing.
Oh, wow.
That is one. Two, it's about the kind of constitution we have as a nation. Constitution that encourages you to steal and get away with it.
Does it?
It does. When the constitution encourages you to have certain amount of money unaccounted for, and it's referred to as security vote. That is the first link to stealing. How much do these governors earn? How much are their allowances? Why is it not made public to Nigerians? Why are the governors the ones controlling the account of the local governments? Every governor is a de facto ruler. He's a king in his state. And that is why we're where we are. We need to look at our constitution. I am saying that that document needs to be shredded. We need to have a document that represents the reality of today. And the reality of today is that we have insecurity, we have hunger, we have lack of education, we have lack of health. These are issues. And until these issues are addressed, nothing will happen and nothing will go right in this country. We only have people who come out to speak. All those who came out and said, Jonathan must go, where are they today? Are they not seeing the corruption in the land? Are they not seeing the cluelessness in the land? Where are they? Suddenly they don't have mouth anymore. And then tomorrow, those same people will come out and hold press conference and call themselves elders and leaders. Once they are broke, their eldership will come out. Once they are hungry, their leadership will come out. Once they can no longer live the kind of life they've been living, they begin to shout and scream. But when things are going wrong, when you need them most to speak out, they don't speak out. A lot is going wrong in this country today, a lot. Our leaders are raping this nation. They are raping it with impunity. And nothing is being done about it. For me, it's not about arresting anybody. It's not about questioning anybody. It's about, will justice prevail? Will the ordinary citizens get justice for the things that these people have done to them? Tomorrow, Yahaya Bello will come out and contest for Senate, and he will go into government as a senator. Every governor that has wasted the resources of their state, whether for 4 years or 8 years, have nothing whatsoever to do in the Senate. They shouldn't even go there. They should be ashamed. But no.
Okay, so let's look at agitations. Yesterday, a group of young lawyers stormed the streets to protest the arrest, the invitation of arrest by the EFCC to Yahaya Bello. Excuse me. Today again, we have issues like that where we have Kogi youths protesting, EFCC's move to arrest Yahaya Bello. What does this mean? What's your reaction to this?
Poverty is not just poverty of not having money. Poverty of the mind is a terrible thing. Poverty of lack of conscience is a terrible thing. Poverty of dignity is a cancer. And that is what is eating up this country. We have lost it totally. People have lost their conscience. All they want is a little money here, a little money there, and then they come together, wear t-shirt, print t-shirt, get a megaphone and begin to make noise all over the place. I hope those who have been protesting, they are aware of how money was withdrawn to pay a child's school
fees. Yes.
Meanwhile, some of them cannot even give their family 3 square meals a day. Are they not ashamed of themselves?
I was about giving them update on that. Say I be whistleblower. So according to the chairman of the EFCC, we hear that there's a Olukoyede. He said Bello wired the money, that is the sum of $720,000. No count up, no convert them to naira. $720,000. He wired that money to a bureau de change operator to pay for his child's school fees in advance.
And yet,
ahead of time.
Yes, and yet people are coming out to protest.
That's some. That's not just one. That's some of.
No. That's what I'm saying. People are coming out to protest. These are same people. He couldn't even make any of them commissioner. He couldn't even make any of them an SA. He couldn't even make them ordinary PA. But today they are protesting.
So do you think, very quickly, do you think that's in any way linked to the new move by the EFCC to freeze over 300 accounts over suspicions of FX flows? Because there's this gist now where the chairman of the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, today, Tuesday, said the commission has discovered another war scheme other than crypto trading platform Binance and its system. Is saying that they are frozen about 300 accounts to ensure the safety of foreign exchange markets. Now, the scheme popularly called, that's not close to it though, it's popularly called the P2P, that is peer-to-peer financial trading scheme, has operated outside the official banking and financial corridors, and there was a looming disaster that could further crush the Naira value that has continued to gain. So this is, in government's, perhaps CBN's quest or government's quest to ensure that they stop the pressure on dollar so that Nigeria can gain its oppression on the Naira, so that the Naira can gain
everybody would love the Naira to come up, but everybody would like it to be done in such a way that we don't live in fear that it's going to drop overnight. And that's why everybody's asking the question. When government is busy selling dollars to PDCs, how is government generating those dollars? How are they generating it? We're not producing. So
but
what
we're selling oil now.
What oil are you selling?
Yeah, and NNPC has come out multiple times to tell us how much profits they've made.
From where?
From selling our oil now.
Which oil?
Do we not have oil again?
Do you even know? No. Let's look at these issues. Do Nigerian government know how much oil they produce in a day? We have to wait for Shell or Total or Mobil to tell you the kind of oil or the amount of oil you produce in a day and you sell. Can government categorically tell you how much oil is stolen out of Nigeria in a day? NNPC, we need to even know the status of NNPC. Is NNPC a government agency or is it a private business entity? If it is a government agency, then they need to tell us.
But it's not a limited liability.
Good. If it's a limited liability company,
even though
how come it's the
establishments with high
how come it's NNPC that is controlling the price of oil in Nigeria?
Are they? Yes. Price of fuel?
Filling station will sell 568, and then they ask other NNPC filling stations will sell 568, and others are selling between 600 and 700. So what is really going on? Why is the government finding it difficult to wrap its hands and its fingers around our major source of income? So for how long will government continue to, sell these dollars to BDCs? How long? I mean, these are questions. Yes, everybody is happy that, the Naira is gaining and all of that, but is it something that is sustainable? The ordinary Nigerian on the street is not interested in dollar. We know that. They are not. The people that are buying and hoarding the dollar are also those in government establishments. They are the ones buying and hoarding the dollars. Which ordinary Nigerian will go and pay 700 and something thousand dollars for his child to go to school in advance? Who? When some government schools that are collecting 50,000, 100,000, 150,000, parents are not able to pay. Is Yahaya Bello not, is it not insanity? So it's not about whether he's a youth or not. No. It has nothing to do with being a youth. All I know is that the whole system is messed up. The entire Nigerian system is messed up. Is it not the same thing we're having with Beta Edu? Is she not a youth? After all, one-time speaker, Dimeji Bankole, was he not also a youth? It has nothing to do with, their youthfulness. No. It has more to do with common sense, decorum, and dignity. Obviously, these youths who claim to be youths that are going into politics have no dignity. They're just behaving like the old politicians that are still in this country dry.
All right, so let's move to our next conversation very quickly because we have our guest already standing by virtually to join us in that conversation. I'm sure you heard that case of the bullying incident today, and I don't know how that made you feel because as a parent, I'm sure that would have made you look like, if you know my daughter like this, I'll deal with you. Well, let's get straight to that conversation because this is like one of the issues that has made government take the swiftest action in, recently, and a lot of people are impressed by government's swift reaction to that conversation. So earlier today, okay, so let's even start with the conversation proper before we move to the child's apology, because the other young lady has already apologized about the incident. That is a lady who was guilty of bullying her classmate. So a particular school in Lagos State, did I say Lagos State? Abuja school. Abuja. By the way, so Lead British International School in Abuja has been shut down for 3 days following a viral video depicting a disturbing incident of bullying within the school premises. Now, the announcement was made during a press briefing attended by concerned parents on Tuesday, today, at the school premises. That incident started trending this morning. The decision to temporarily shut down the school comes in the wake of public outrage sparking by the circulating videos which captured a female student being subjected to physical and emotional abuse by her peers. There was also this video of a male child too, a male student going through the same torture, right? So the disturbing footage depicted the victim being repeatedly slapped by another female student in what appeared to be an interrogation session. The incident prompted widespread condemnation and calls for swift action to address the issues of bullying in schools. As a matter of fact, these students say that this is not the first time they've had bullying incidents in their school. For those who didn't have time to take a listen to that conversation, I may just have to play a bit of that audio for you so you hear the way the slap was going back and forth, and maybe you have a better perspective to it, because that has been very disturbing, quite disturbing to everybody who has feelings, because everyone has been quite worried about that situation. So let's take a listen to that. I hope that I can get that audio. Okay, that's it. All those things that you're hearing is somebody's face that the slap is going through. Who broke my heart? Who broke my heart? Okay, all right. And that went on and on and on. So I don't know if you saw other footages recently of some of the school children speaking stiltily to people about how bullying has become a thing in their school. As a matter of fact, they did say that. Let's take a listen to them say that.
It doesn't mean it has been happening every day.
Yes, it happens every day. And they always give us back. Like, how does that stop you from victim of them? Yes, the police was one time they poured cold water on all.
But have you ever reported to the management?
No, yes, they don't do anything. If they pay their money, they will stop.
Oh wow. That if they pay money,
And
they will
some
stop.
teachers were watching them and they didn't get.
Oh wow, these are huge allegations.
Precious.
Oh right, okay. So before I know say they pinch you for body,
Precious.
but I have a guest standing by to jump in.
Let that get sold on.
Okay, guys.
Precious, let me just tell you something. Whatever you see playing out in schools by children is what they are learning from home.
Oh wow.
Parenting has been thrown to the dogs. Let us say it the way it is. Me, as I sit here, you can't bully my child.
What will you do?
My child will give it back to you straight ahead. It's nothing like my children are trained not to allow anybody to bully them. And I think all parents out there should prepare their children for the worst.
Are we training soldiers?
No, because what is going on out there shows you that parenting has been thrown to the dogs. When parents don't train their child very well, their child will go out and display it. That particular girl, if you check very well, if you carry out a holistic investigation, you'll find out that either the father or the mother, one of them is a bully. I mean, this is it's simple.
So there were insinuations earlier in the day that child, because her surname is Boala, that she may be.
It has been
Daniel
denied.
Boala's child. Yes, he denied it, and he said if he were his child,
He will give it back to you squarely.
He born that Pekin. Say no, you don't go.
My child cannot come back and cry and tell me that somebody bullied him or her.
All
And
right.
No.
All right. So I have Mr. Bright Kamashwade joining us virtually. He's a lead alumni and parent engagement team at Africa Leadership University. Good evening, Mr. Brighton. Thank you so much for joining us. Apologies for taking you unawares, but I do like you to give us your very professional perspective to this conversation. Mr. Bright, are you there?
Yes, I'm here. Good evening, Precious.
Good evening to you. Thank you so much for joining us. Can we see your face a bit, because we're streaming live on YouTube? I'm sure my YouTube people would like to see your fine face.
My face is not interesting, so but let me.
It's okay. You see fine. You try. They try. Well done, Mr. Bright. So go ahead, please. These incidents like this, when it happens in school, what's the best way schools ought to manage the situation? Because like you heard the students say that this isn't the first time this is happening. It's been happening, that they will just pay them money and they will keep quiet. And some students had it that the most they could just do is just to tell the children to pack bin, and that's all. Would you say that's enough punishment? Are those proper measures taken to curb such, or serve as a deterrent to such disturbing actions?
So I mean, there are a couple of things we need to look at in solving this problem. First of all, I would specifically state that the school has probably put in some strategies against bullying. I've spent the last 14 years of my life in the academic sector, public primary schools, low-cost private schools, and then, of course, an international school as well in Port Harcourt, Bloomsbury High Schools.
Oh, wow. Very familiar. I don't want to tell you my child attended that school too. But it's okay. Go ahead. It's okay.
When I was there, we do have, like a stringent measure to ensure that bullying does not happen. So the first thing is, what has the school put in place to ensure that this is not happening? So the idea of a student even putting out a video there to say, I'm sorry, that's like a reactive measure. Right, the damage has been done. If there were some structures in place from the beginning, I don't think we would have to probably be speaking around this and even looking out for a way. These students should kind of like put in some recordings or maybe a video to say she's sorry. So I think that first things first is every school needs to put in some structures around this.
What are those structures? Because we have variety of schools. We have different schools. The low budget, mid budget, and high budget. Perhaps this is a high budget. But for those who may not afford all of those serene, what do they need to do, or things that they need to put in place?
Yes, so specifically, right, some of the things that schools should put in place is a clear statement of what would happen to anybody that bullies a fellow student. Does this include suspension? If you say suspension, for how long this suspension would happen? Does this include even going the extra mile to see probably a mental health doctor? Because we're looking at this from one perspective. Are we also thinking around probably what that child would have been through in terms of our own community? What is the normal, right? Our home where she's growing up, what is the normal? So if you see your dad slapping, your mom, that's a normal thing. So you should be able to slap your colleagues in school. It's not a big deal, right? If you're in a community where people bully themselves in the community, you probably need to also be a bully to be able to survive out there. So people bring in these different perspectives, right? From their families, from their communities, and then they come into the school. And in a situation where the school does not have, like I said, those structures, for instance, clear statement of what would happen if you bully anybody in school, you can't avoid this. This will keep happening. I went to a public school as well, a boarding school in my own time, and bullying was the key. So the structure around us surviving is you wait till when you get into SS3.
So that you take a pound of flesh, right? I think we all went through that growing up.
This has also passed away with time. These things are still there, be it a boarding school or a day school. The most important thing is educators, teachers in the classroom as well are also supposed to put an anti-bullying system in their classroom, ranging from rules and regulations and to what happens to you. So when you bully somebody, what is that thing that you have to go through as a deterrent to show that bullying is wrong? So you can't bully somebody and say, oh, it's just happens, don't mind them. Just take it like that. We're very sorry. It will keep happening. But if there are some structures in place for this, right? If that child has to be suspended from school for a month, if that child has to put it, an apology is one of the things anyway. But again, I would prefer even a public apology. So if you slapped a student in school, right, which is kind of like a public disgrace, then you should be able to put out a public apology to kind of like help reverse the damage.
The public apology in school there too, amongst your classmates or schoolmates there. Is that what you're saying?
Yes, yes, because so we might think that a sorry statement from the student is good enough, but that child who has been bullied is going to stay in that school till she passes out, and that the same incident will be used against her, right?
Oh, wow.
These guys are teenagers, they are kids. They're going to talk about it. They're going to laugh you. They're going to say so many things that will make you depressed if you do not have a strong standing and a strong will as an individual.
Okay, so speaking about strong standing and strong will, that's exactly why I called you into this conversation, because we need to know what you teachers do. First of all, how you identify issues like this. Some of these children may not do this openly to your knowledge. They may not bully to your knowledge, like to where you'd see them, right? So are there signs that you look out for in children to establish those who are bullies or those who are being bullied in your classes? What are those signs that other teachers should look out for, amongst both those who have potentials of being bullies and those who have been bullied? What are the things that you look out for, the signs that you look out for in your pupils to identify these things and then begin to nip them in the bud?
Yeah, so bully, like every other social vices that happens in our society, in our classroom, comes along with a student that withdraws to themselves, right? You see them shutting down totally. I would say that for teachers to be able to know if this is happening in their class is, first of all, the teachers need to love their students, right? This is the only way a child who is being bullied would come out plain to a teacher to say, this is what I'm going through, in a situation where the teacher might not even really notice. I did a fellowship with Teach for Nigeria a couple of years ago. That's in 2018 in Ogun State. And we have children who come to the classroom, and these children are being abused at home. I mean, by their stepdads. You can list the level of abuse that is happening. So these kids will literally have passed through those classes with those teachers staying there without saying a word. Now, what they are looking for, or who they are looking for, is that one teacher. So the moment a child finds that one teacher that he or she is able to connect with, they will come up plain to tell you their experiences, right? So the question is, are our teachers that one teacher in the classroom?
Are they?
Or it's just a means of livelihood, right? Let me get my box, whatever the amount is, and then go back to my house, right?
Okay.
But if you put in the work, right, you show your kids by leading by example, not necessarily stating that this is the rules of this classroom, right? As a teacher, you and the kids in those classrooms are also co-creating the rules and regulations that are guiding you guys. It's a community of its own, right? And so you're already building leaders unknowing to you who would also stand up for their classmates when these things go on in those classrooms. So without you knowing, let's not forget that these kids come into our schools and they stay with us from about 8 a.m. to probably 2 p.m. or let's say 3 or 4 for a school that does an extra moral lessons for their kids. So these kids actually parents will say spend more time with their teacher. But as a teacher, I would say spend less time with their teacher. Because if I have 130 students in my classroom, the question is, how much time do I have to actually know what is wrong with each and every one of those kids in my classroom, right? So the truth is, and this is something I have practiced, through my career in the classroom as an active teacher, is show your kids that you love them. Co-create rules and regulations in the classroom that is going to guide that classroom. It's not the teacher's classroom. It's a community of the teacher and the learners, right? And then when all of these are in place, people would definitely abuse themselves. Kids would always be kids. Teenagers would always be teenagers. The teachers are not demigods. They might not know that these things are happening. But again, because of the structure you've put in place, right? Love, which is one that is a great key that every teacher should have. You have kids who would even come up to you to say, Mr. Bright is being bullied. He just does not want to tell you, right? So even if the person that has been bullied is not coming up, you've built leaders in that classroom
that will spill.
That'll
take the initiative. Yeah, great one. So I know in recent times in Nigeria, we've heard this kind of incident happening more like in elite schools. That's what we've heard, the Darwin issue. We've had this lead British school issue. And Chrisland has been trending too. Would you say this is actually more prominent in elite schools, or it's just everywhere? Perhaps we just get to hear about these because, I didn't get money pass.
In all honesty, right, this happens across everywhere. Right. The difference is, one, social media is now showing us all of these things when they happen. And this has been happening long before now. It didn't just start happening, right? But the difference between what happens in the public school and then what happens in elite schools like Chrisland and the rest of them is the fact that most of these kids, right, might not necessarily have the attention of their parents at home. So these kids are missing out on something. And then what we do as a community, as a society, is push all the load to the teachers and say, oh, hey, Mr. Bright, you're the teacher in the classroom. You're not doing a great job. You have a bully in your classroom. You have this happening in your classroom. One question is, are the dads at home doing the right thing, right? Are the moms at home doing? That's like the basics. That's where
so we should just not be looking for money alone. We parents should also do more by paying more attention to our kids. That's what you're saying.
Exactly. Do more. I do agree with you. I personally, I don't stay at home. I'm not a father that stays at home all the time, right? Because we need to kind of like make some means of livelihood and then bring back the money to our home. But what I do differently is whenever I'm home, I spend time with my kids. What's happening? What's going on in school? What's the new thing that is happening? We spend time discussing, right? I'm talking about kids that are even 4 years old that literally a parents would say, what does she know, right? And you see these kids saying, oh, daddy, we miss you, and all of those things. The truth about this is most of the challenges we have in these elite schools are challenges from the home. The kids do not have their parents looking after them. There's no proper attention and love shown to those children. And then these kids come into the school environment and they need attention. And what's the best way to get attention? Be a bully, be rude. So you become the bad girl who gets all the attention of our classmates, the entire school, the teachers, the principal. You become the bad boy who gets the attention as well, right? So these are like key things that are happening. Our parents need to sit up. I'm not going to come here and say, oh, I'm a perfect dad. But like I've said, what are those things you're putting in place to ensure that, yes, you're a dad that walks out of town, but when you are back home, you have some time with your kids and they know the place of a father in building a home.
Okay.
You are a mom. Yeah.
Okay, so just before I let you go, a lot of people commended the girl. Some commended the young lady, Namitri, right, for being very calm in the face of such provocation. Others did say that, well, I won't raise my child to be that calm because I'm going to make her give it tit for tat, right? So what would you rather have her do in that situation? Because remember, the reason I'm asking this question, there was an incident like that among white kids to a black child, I think in the UK, and that was in Scotland or somewhere like that. And those kids had a knife. They were armed with a knife. And where the white kid forced the black child to kiss his feet, and if he didn't, he was going to stab him. And these kids could do that, and the boy may have died. So the boy humbly kissed his feet, not because he wanted to, perhaps because he wanted to be alive. And people lauded him that was a smart move to stay alive. So what would you rather have kids do, or what would your advice be in such a situation?
So I think that, one advice I would have kids do is don't be the bully. So people are saying, I would raise my child to probably beat back. I would raise my child to probably eat back. I won't allow you to do this to my child. But what we are forgetting is you're also raising your own child to be the bully that you're complaining about, right? What the girl did was perfect. What that shows for me as a teacher is someone that has the leadership capacity to withhold pain. We don't have that in this part of the world, right? To an extent, yes, we can all take pains and say, oh, this is what our government is doing. But it takes a lot more when you are a teenager and you get that kind of like a hit from your colleague, your age mate, and then you hold back. That's the right thing to do. That's the right thing to do. I wouldn't told the line that says she has to eat back because she has to prove a point. She doesn't need to prove a point, right? Just like you said, even for the child that had to kiss the feet of his fellow student, it was a wise move. What's the point proving a point of view being had and then probably losing your life, right? And there's also a different side to it. You're also showing to the bully that he or she can be a better person. So they might not have your presence, but these kids go back home, right? And this is becoming like a national conversation. It's going on everywhere in different parts of the country, right?
Absolutely.
And then this child has an opportunity to really reflect.
All right. All right, thank you so much, Bright. Apologies for taking you on the words. I love the fact that I had you jump into this conversation because parents will have a better perspective as to how, as to how to, handle their kids, because you don't blame all the parents now. Every parents now don't catch 3 bullets from you, because of this issue. But I hope that we, do better as parents so that we can raise better kids. For both those who parent bully kids and those, who parent very calm kids, I hope we do the best. And then know how to, and the educators too have learned a lot from you. Thank you so immensely, Bright. I appreciate you for stopping by on the show this evening.
Thank you very much, Precious.
Thank you so much. I appreciate you. Thank you. All right, Lagos. Would you like to chime in something, Prince Chilaka, very quickly? I saw the way you did your face when he now said that even those who raise kids would say they may slap back or have their kids beat back, may also be raising bullies in the making.
No, I totally disagree with
you. Disagree with him?
Totally disagree.
Because I noticed the way you did your face, like, because I know that WhatsApp group. You just keep your face like, say, I know that WhatsApp group for that.
No, nobody has a right. No child has a right to bully another child.
I agree.
And if every child in the school begins to, feign ignorance, begin to, I want to be alive, then things will get out of hand. And that's why I said from the outset that parenting is the key problem. That, like you said, that girl must have, been brought up in an environment where she sees slapping, bullying, taking advantage of another person as a norm. And that's just it. Parents need to train their children well. They need to, like you said, spend more time with your kids. Let them understand what is good and what is bad. When we move it from there, we also move it into the religious institutions. They too are not doing what they're supposed to do. We have thrown morality to the dogs. And that is why we're having the kind of society we're having today.
Okay, I don't even know if Bright is still with us in the conversation, because this other issue almost has to do with stuffs like that too. But then, the operatives of the River State Police Command have arrested a 30-year-old man, full-fledged man, identified as Jeffrey, for allegedly defiling the teenage daughter of his landlady in an estate in Abuloma, Port Harcourt, local government area of River State. It was learned that the suspect, who has a tailoring shop at the estate, lured the 13-year-old girl to his business place one evening under the guise of showing her clothes. But Jeffrey ended up locking the shop, overpowered the girl, and allegedly had his way with the girl. The suspect was, however, arrested by men of the Transamadi Police Division last Friday, when the teenage girl opened up to her mother about such, incident. Now, these issues usually start with, if you tell anybody, I'll kill you. What are the things we need to do to ensure that our kids are able to open up to us about anything and everything?
It starts with learning how to communicate with your kids, build a bond with your kids. There is nothing else you need as a parent than to build a bond with your kids. Make your kids understand who you are. Make your kids feel that you can protect them at every point in time. I'll give you a typical example. A few years back, I actually had a friend. He comes to my house, and each time he comes, he says, he refers to my daughter as his wife.
Mm-hmm.
And, based on the way I've been, talking to my kids and all of that. So one day he came and did that. My daughter told him outrightly, please, sir, with due respect, don't ever call me that again. Because the next time you call me that, sir, I will insult you. And she ran inside. Children. Already she feels she has said more than enough. She doesn't know whether she was going to be chastised or flogged. I came in, my friend, I was like, your daughter just insulted me. And I laughed. And I called my daughter. I said, wow, my daughter explained to me. I said, oh, you did the right thing.
In front of a friend?
Yes. Because she needs to have that confidence. She needs to know that, yes, you can always protect her. That is what children need. The moment you let your children understand the fact that you are there for them, they will open up every and anything to you.
All right. So let's move very quickly, because I don't have time anymore, to the issues. In your state, Imo State, your former governor, short-term governor, Emeka Ihedioha, has now resigned his membership of the PDP. in his resignation letter addressed to the PDP chairman in Mbutu Ward, Abombise local government area of, I know you're laughing at me. This is Mbutu. Okay, in Abombise local, I got the Abombise, right? Yep. The Abombise local government area of the state. In here they have cited misalignment between his personal beliefs and the current trajectory of the main opposition party, the PDP. The former governor expressed his dedication to the advancement of democracy and good governance in the country, despite his decision to step away from PDP. What is brewing in your state?
Coming up to the last election, PDP denied him the ticket.
Yes.
And
but why so though? If he won, if he was voted and supported overwhelmingly at the initial stage,
it's part of the party's internal politics.
Okay.
You understand? And since then, it has not been a huru for him and the party. For me, it's okay if he has left the party, but since I saw that letter, I've been trying to understand where he's headed to. Because that's the most important thing to me, not
where he's headed to.
Yes.
Like another opposition, or perhaps.
Oh, he wants to
party.
join. Yeah. So I need to know where he's headed to.
Okay.
So that's, for me, yes. It's his right. He has a right to stay on or a right to leave the party. But, it's important we know where he's headed to. And also important that we know so that it's not because he wants to be a governor at all costs.
That's why he's moving.
That's why he's moving. We need to know. Those are, for me, I keep saying that the parties do not have ideology. A lot of people in the parties also don't have an ideology.
Now, speaking of ideology, former Director General of the Labour Party presidential campaign, Doyin Okugwe, says that the party's presidential candidate, Peter Obi, never believed in the ideologies of the party. Even himself. He said this in an interview in a Rice Television today. Now, according to Okugwe, a Labour Party was just a special purpose vehicle, SPV, for the presidential election for Peter Obi. This is like the second or third time we're hearing this. So it's not like he's been saying this. Okay, someone else said that. I think someone else made that accusation in the past, right? So he said the former Director General said that the party's presidential candidate Peter Obi never believed in ideology. So he said, So quoting him now, he says, "For us, the LP for us, for Peter Obi and I, and those in the leadership of the movement, the party was a special purpose vehicle. So it wasn't because we believed in the Labour Party ideology. I have never been a Labour person. I have never operated on the left before, the left wing before, but we needed a platform, and this was the only platform needed or readily available to us. We thought that if we won the election, there are no fast and hard rules about ideologies. You can always find a shade between the left and the right. You can always move to the center." So we were hoping and praying that if we won, we would find a way to come to some consensus with the Labour. Quoting him further, he says, Peter Obi is not a Labour person. He is not a leftist person. He is a trader. He is a businessman just like me. I am a liberal Democrat. I believe in liberal democracy. I believe in free enterprise. I am not a social worker. As far as I'm concerned, my membership of Labour Party expired the moment we lost that election.
Well, like I said, the political parties we have don't have.
I was going to state that. Why make it so obvious that?
No, they don't have ideology. It's the truth. Even APC that is governing us have no ideology. If they had an ideology, which the president follows, the president wouldn't have made his infamous speech of May 29th. Subsidy is gone.
What has that got to do with ideology?
Ideology means that there's a template. It means that there's something that the party has.
Is ideology more like character? More like character of the party. Like, this is our character. This is what we embody. This is who we are, who we represent. This is our idea. This is who we are.
Now you're taking that trajectory. What is the idea of APC? Yes.
Okay.
Buhari ruined this country for 8 years under APC. So what was his ideology? Or what was the ideology of the party? The ideology of the party is to create insecurity. Was that the ideology of the party? So it's for me, all the political parties in Nigeria have no ideology. All those who jump into political parties themselves have no ideology. Just a few of them. And the reason why that has become very obvious is because you win election in PDP today. You find out that you're in the minority. What do? You jump boat. You join APC because it's in the majority. So if the parties had ideology and we had electoral system or electoral law that prevents you from jumping from one party to another, maybe we can then begin to talk of ideology. But it's an open check, open-ended. It's an open-ended situation that we have. So, yes, everybody in Nigeria knew that Labour Party was just a special vehicle for people.
Oh, so you're not denying that?
No, I am also, I'm an obedient, so I know.
Oh, wow, you are?
Yes,
Oh, I
proudly.
didn't know that. Okay.
So we know that it was
So
just,
you know
it
that
was just
you-
a vehicle
so-
available for him to contest because we believed that it is time to move Nigeria.
So you believe
forward
that
to the next level.
you believe that
I'm not a-
Peter Obi
I'm-
and the entire Obedient used Labour Party.
I'm not
to-
a Labour Party member.
But you're just saying that you say you're an Obedient.
Yes.
That means you agree that you used. I mean, the Obedient
Not that we
movement
used Labour
the
Party
Labour
made
Party.
itself available to be used.
But someone was used at the end of the day. There was a use.
It doesn't matter. Somebody has to make himself available.
Then,
The
but
thing
there
is
was
that
a use.
The truth of the matter is that Labour Party needed Peter Obi more than Peter Obi needed Labour Party.
Okay.
And when Peter Obi entered into Labour Party, it gave Labour Party a new lease of life. But they have not been able to manage it. Since after the election, check it. You have one end, you have Arabambi, you have Apapa, you have Aburu Adiel. So what is going on in Labour Party? If Labour Party had won the election, I keep asking this question, would the likes of Arabambi and Apapa come out? Would they have said the kind of things they said about even their presidential candidate? Labour Party needs to go and put its house in order.
All right, so let's move on. We did hear about this incident that happened earlier today in Oyo State. But before we get to that incident, let's see very quickly. The tragedy happy, or a trigger rather, happy policeman popularly known as Sahid Sars allegedly shot a youth corps member, identified as Yonda Damilala to death in Ogbomoso local government area of Oyo State Tuesday, and of course that has led to a lot of uproar. So Sahid is widely recognized by the students of the Ladoke Akintola University of Technology Ogbomoso for assaults, most especially Yahoo boys. That's he's been saddled with such accusations. In 2020, he was heavily criticized on social media platforms after he reportedly posed with a white Mercedes-Benz car he claimed to have bought. So this has led to quite a lot of uneasy reactions in Oyo State. Yet again, killing another innocent Nigerian by more like extrajudicial killing again. Another extrajudicial killing by those who are meant to protect lives.
Precious.
Sir?
Not taking proactive steps.
Because I was going to say at the end of the day, who takes responsibility for all of this? I mean, we hit a couple of times to see them punished, but are those punishments enough?
You see, so long as we have a policing system and everything revolves around one man, the IG, this kind of nuisances will continue to happen.
Are you now advocating for the state police thing so that there is a decentralization of police force?
I believe in state police.
Okay.
Yes. But there are questions. State policing because of the fact that they believe that the governors will abuse it.
That's been the fear, especially during elections.
Yes, that's the fear. But if you're talking
That
about
concern was raised a lot yesterday.
If you're talking about curbing crime, curbing kidnapping, the core work of the police, I tell you, state policing will do the job.
Oh, wow.
I've always said you can't go and move a man all the way from Zamfara you move him to Rivers State as a commissioner of police. He does not understand the language. He does not understand the tradition. He does not understand the culture of the people. He does not even understand the terrain. You're making him a commissioner of police. How do you want him to succeed? Crime in every state is local. The local people know these criminals. It's easier for them to say, this is this, this is this. And so that is why I am. How do you expect him to curb crime? He sees the man, he's carrying his bag, the man is protecting, living in affluence. It's not possible.
All right. So let's move very quickly because Nigerians are itching to jumping on the conversation right now. They say I should tell you people that because of the rising cost of drugs, that you people's life expectancy may now be lower. So the rising price of malaria, antibiotics, anti-diabetes, hypertension drugs, and other pharmaceutical products have heightened the fears of increased mortality and reduced life expectancy among Nigerians. The danger became more ferocious as retail prices of commonly used drugs in Nigeria have risen by at least 300% daily or more. So I see recently I usually went to go and get a particular supplement, one supplement. I said, oh, let me do baby girl small. And when they told me 55,000, I said, a supplement, 55,000 naira. Normal. I was so shocked to get a 1,000 milligram vitamin C for 15,000 naira. I said, okay, I need to drink again. I need to do vitamin C again. Make I lick fruits. Make I rest in peace. So this is very scary. That's the problem. So this report has it that apart from food inflation, which stood at about 40.01% in March, the inflation rate in pharmaceuticals has witnessed an exponential surge in the last few months. A recent market survey conducted by this report in Abuja showed that the prices of antibiotics and malaria drugs such as Tavanix surged from 25,735 naira from 11,000. That is, the drug moved from 11,370 to 25,735 naira in January. Levofloxacin sold for 1,200. Is now 1,200 from 5,500. These ones are even cheap. You've not named other drugs. You don't want to call major antibiotics, the one that we know their name, the one that is going for 50 something thousand naira now and more. This is a poor man drug. Go for the big drugs. Your body go tell you. So they say the fate of Nigerians now to feed and take care of themselves with a poor minimum wage, and then with the cost of medication now, it's worrisome.
This is a time not to be sick in this country.
At all.
I tell my kids the same thing every day.
Don't try it. That's a stunt you shouldn't try at home.
This is not the time to fall sick. And this is not a time to be reckless with your lifestyle.
So that means you agree with this report?
It didn't start today. Since the inception of this government, we've had prices of drugs going up. There was a time, I think it was 2 months back, when people were crying that ordinary inhaler they couldn't get.
You remember Augmentin now?
Augmentin now. Nobody's talking about it. Nobody's talking of inhaler. And you see, where the whole thing is so annoying is that government says, price control, they are going from supermarket, they're asking them to reduce price. How can you ask people to reduce their price when you have no other alternative for them?
So you can imagine malaria medication like Coartem 8480 went from 1,750 to 6,500. That's more than 300%.
So, and then
and the mosquitoes are still biting.
The mosquitoes are breeding every day. The dirt everywhere is dirty and all of that. But the point I'm trying to make is that, good, these prices are high. And government is saying, we're bringing down prices by forcing people to sell at a particular price. You can't force people to sell at a price when you have no price control, when you have no alternative for them. For you to set up a price control, you must have the product in certain places where people can go and buy them cheaper. And if the people refuse to go there and go to somewhere else, it's the business. If government has these products and the government is saying these products are available, they must be sold at 2,000. It means that if I step out of my house, by the time I go to 2-3 supermarkets, I must find that product at 2,000. But if there's no alternative, how do you now force people to sell at the price you want them to sell?
So the current battle, statement by the FCCPC may not be anything.
How will it work? Are you paying importation duties for them? Are you paying for their shops?
All right,
because landlords are increasing rents. So why are they not going after landlords who are increasing rent arbitrarily?
Let's open the phone lines. Nigerians are itching to jump in on the conversation now. Lagos phone lines are open. 0700 903 903 903 is exactly 19 minutes past 8 o'clock. We still want to ensure that we squeeze in a step down conversation, because the step down I have today, that step down, it suits me self as a career. So phone lines are open. Let's just get your say. Have your say on this as fast as you can. The direct line to call is 0700 903 903 903. If you want to reach us on WhatsApp, the WhatsApp number is 0817 175 6338. 0817 175 6338. That is the WhatsApp line to call. Hello, good evening.
Hello, Precious.
Sir? No, you will help me turn
Good evening. Can you hear me?
I was waiting for you to do the needful. Welcome.
You know I will always do that. So I didn't know you picked my call because it's not stepped down already. Prince Akwachi, good evening.
No, not Prince Akwachi. Prince Akwachi where is he? Is it Canada now or California? I know he's somewhere abroad. This one is Prince Francis Chilaka. Why are you doing like this now?
Oh, Prince Chilaka is what I want to say. Prince Chilaka, my apology.
No
because
so bad.
All right, go ahead.
God.
Please.
Precious, you will not scatter my head.
I will not.
This is Joval, first of all.
Joval, you're welcome. Go ahead, please.
Oh my God, Prince Akwachi, you were right on.
You see, don't call him Akwachi again, Abi. Don't worry.
Prince Chilaka, Prince Chilaka Biko. My apology once again. The last time I'll make this mistake. You see, I think it is high time that we started sending our children to go and get trained on how to defend themselves. I think it is part of the training that the parents are supposed to inculcate into their children, because what I watched there, I don't know if it is staged. I don't know if it is real, but if it is real, then it's bad. It's bad. Is it a kind of cultism in secondary school? That's very bad. Then coming to the issue of election, I think what happened in Imo State that led to the resignation of the one-time governor of Imo State from Mbise, a very wonderful man that I would have loved to rule Imo State if possible. I don't know why PDP will never get their acts right. You don't change a winning candidate like that. That man would have given APC a run for their money in Imo State if he was allowed. I'm talking about former Speaker of the House of Deputy Speaker of the House of Representatives, whose name I can't remember right now. So what happened in Imo
State is a Mecca in
wasn't good. He had your hair. Thanks a lot, Precious. Then let me quickly drop by saying that Nigeria will work when we want Nigeria to work. The Nigerian people, if you look at it, sometimes, let me give us a slack for that. We are the problem of this country. You will see somebody that will come and tell you that they like the way this country is going. And if you see a man like Peter Obi coming to help Nigeria, look at what the other man in Labour Party is doing with the members of Labour Party who are causing chaos in that party. It shows that they are deliberately not going to allow Nigeria to move forward. That's what I think is happening. So Nigerians should wake up, take this country to where we want it to be, El Dorado. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. Thank you very much. All right, so let's go straight to WhatsApp messages. Oops, my message box is full. Okay, let's see how we can get started with them very quickly. So help us God. Sirika was not arrested but invited because he worked there by himself. I'm be from 7 and 8. Does it make any difference? All right. Good evening, VOP FM. The excuses for not arresting Yahaya Bello looks to me like giving him a room for negotiation by the so-called EFCC before telling Nigerians that they will love, before telling Nigerians what they would love to hear. The EFCC has been waiting for Nigerians to shout before arresting the Nigerian airline fraud. My question is government borrowing for them to share among themselves Yet, no electricity, no education, no good road under the sitting president who claims of fighting corruption. Raf from Satellite Town sent that message. Hello, good evening. Hello.
Hello, good evening.
Yes, good evening. Welcome, sir.
Good evening. Special, thank you very much. What is Promise?
Promise is fine. She's producing me behind the scene.
Oh. Okay, well, thank God.
Thank you.
I think it was the media that was calling Yahaya Bello White Lion. Both electric media, some of the electric media and print media, they gave him awards, all kind of awards. How much did he give to this some of this electronic media and the print media? You must have given them some amount of money to promote you. There are nothing I want to say. I beg to disagree with your guest. The Bible says, "Train up a child the way it is go, when it's told, she will not depart from it." You don't train your children to be violent. You are only train that girl to be. In fact, I don't know the kind of man that will come and marry such a girl. You don't train children like that. You don't train children like this. Is a Christian, you know that what the Bible says. I'm very sorry. In fact, I don't know. You say if somebody slap my girl, do that. Even if I'm God. You are asking your daughter, a girl, a female child that will marry a husband to go to abuse an adult.
Thank you.
I beg. I'm disappointed in this your guest.
I want to respond. I think we get things wrong in this country. It's not our ladies, our daughters are not products for marriage. They're not conditioned for marriage. And I get very upset when some parents speak that way. You must train your boy child just the way you train your girl child. Equal rights. Don't have that mindset that the whole essence why you're training your daughter is for her to get married. And because you want her to get married, she must learn to be timid. No, sir. I totally disagree with you on that.
Well respected. Moving on to more messages. Precious, Nigeria will not change. You don't ask a goat to look after a piece of yam. Chai, you go chop am. I rest my case. Almost everyone in Nigeria is a potential looter in all aspects of life. I am not a potential looter. I am not. I have never looted. I will not loot. Precious. The fact is that those waiting to go into government and steal are more in numbers than those presently in their stealing. Then talking about the youths, they are total disappointment. The likes of Desmond Elliott, the Major Bankole, and the Yahaya Bello are all youth, and these characters failed woefully. This is pure indication that Nigeria is irredeemable. It is not irredeemable in Jesus' name. Rex, you're the one who sent you that message. I appreciate you, Rex. Hello, good evening. Hello, are you there? Good evening.
Hi, Precious.
Hello, John. Welcome.
Yeah, hi to your prince. I'm sorry. Hi to Prince. Hi, Prince. Sorry now.
No argument. I no argue.
She has accepted.
Okay.
Problem. Go ahead.
Yeah. You see, I want to start with this. Sometimes I would say we are a reflection of who our leaders are.
We are not. I'm not. I don't know about you. You
used to agree with you.
I am not
with me.
I have never agreed with you on this. You know that I have had this argument over time.
Yes. But the physical evidence.
Hello, are you there? Hello. Oh, network won't let us hear you. Hello, are you there? Apologies. You may try to reach us back. So let's quickly take on more messages very quickly. All right, Precious. The only institutions that we have in Nigeria is grabs, steal, and grabs and steal. Grab, steal, and run institution in Nigeria. Udom. Nsido. Good evening, love. Good evening, sir. You are on point. Well, it's unfortunate that the APC is just disguising, you say. How can you choose this dude during the primary election when you have people like Professor Oshibajo, Amechi, and other less corrupt and saner aspirants? Yahaya Bello can only do what he's doing by evading arrest because of the type of person in Asorok. This country is bleeding. No food for the masses. I pity for people, so many people, especially the unemployed. Gosha, are you guys serious? Meet me from Surulere says, Precious and our humble guest, I greet you specially. Your analysis on this issue is wow. Thumbs up. Precious. We The Nigerian people want equal rights and justice without this. Me feels our leaders is moving this country nowhere. They are moving the country nowhere, you see. All right. But His Royal Highness BC Wilko says the so-called Sirika has really stolen this country dry. To be honest with you, Precious, this man,
Cash back? You don't hear of real estate cash back? Chai! This one, Nagbeo. This one go guarantee you 30 to 70% return on investment within a very short time. When you invest for land or house from us and the thing become your property for between 12 to 24 months, we go rebuy them from you. Then pay both capital and even interest where the property don't carry join body. This na real investment cash back. This one, na time for you to cash out from real estate business for this Obodo Naija. Check out. If you invest 500,000 to 100 million or above, you will get 30% profit for 12 months. And if na 18 months, you will get 50% profit. And if na 24 months, uncle, you will get 70% profit. No be the end, because your investment is very, very safe and secure with us. Yes, as you invest, you dey collect your post-dated check. Sharply. To get more information, office day for number 32C at Detola Aguda, Surulere, Lagos, or call 0803 879 9889. Website now www.richlandproperty.com.ng. Richland Property and Homes Limited, your gateway to a richer life.
Listen to hot critical analysis and top trending topics of the day. Join Precious, Monday to Friday, 7 to 9 p.m. on The Evening Rush.
All right, Legacy, you are welcome back. It is still 90.3 Voice of the People FM. Yeah, before we went on break, we were taking your calls and your messages and reactions on the conversations that we've had this evening. In case you're just joining us, let me run you through the hot topics this evening very quickly. I wish I can do that so quickly. First, you did hear that EFCC arrests Sirika over alleged 8 billion naira Nigerian air fraud. 8 billion and 69 million naira fraud. Just so that you know that there's more money inside than you can see. All right. EFCC freezes over 300 accounts over suspicious FX flows. And other issues here. Court orders EFCC to serve Yahaya Bello 80 billion naira fraud charges through his lawyer. We're hoping that happens. And then police storm Abuja lead British school over alleged bullying case. And you also did hear that drugs price hike, life expectancy reduction imminent in Nigeria. This is according to experts. And then they said Yahaya Bello withdrew $720,000 from government accounts to pay child school fees in one breath. This is according to the EFCC. Trigger happy policeman kills car member, injures Lautech graduate in Oyo. And then Abuja British School shut down over bullying assault of student. That's also in the news. You also did hear that 2023 P2B and I never believed in ideologies of Labour Party. Dunyo Kupe says so. We only used it as SPVs, special purpose vehicle. Ex-Imo Governor Ihedioha resigns from the PDP. Oh, there's also this gist about Tinubu continued Nigeria's massive corruption by appointing Treasury looter Atiku Baguda to cabinet. And you know that Atiku Baguda's case is because of his connection with Abacha and Abacha's loot. Lagos phone lines are open 0700-903-903-903, 0700-903-903-903. The WhatsApp line is 0817-175-6338. Hello, good evening. Hello?
Yes, hello, good evening.
Good evening, welcome please.
Yeah, my name is Kelvin.
Kelvin, you're welcome. Where are you calling from?
I'm calling from Surulere.
You're welcome. Go ahead, please, very quickly.
Yes, I listened to you carefully regarding the man that raped the girl. And I've proposed on the different platforms that we should enact a law that any rapist should be castrated.
The rapists of minors or even the ones that rape adults?
All rapists.
That would have been finer for the ones that rape minors, so, but unfortunately, you and I are not lawmakers. But go ahead, please, sir.
Well, I think that is to be the way forward so that we'll get this thing, because we can't have this kind of animals living amongst us.
There are countries that have also adopted this too, just so you know.
Of course.
Yes.
Of course. So, but I don't know what is delaying this. I've been proposing this for the past 4 national radio. But having said that anyway, because of time, I'm sick and tired of hearing this issue of the constitution is doing this or that we need it. I don't think the constitution that we have now has any problem. It is the players that have the problem. The Ghanaian constitution was given to them by the military. The Ghanaians don't shut down the country if they're having a general election. So there are some basic things that we need to do that we don't do. We don't need a constitution to fight corruption. We need a constitution to fight corruption.
Thank you.
We don't need a constitution to tell lawmakers that when their people they are representing are still languishing in poverty, they're not well represented. We don't need a new constitution to tell us that.
Thank you so much.
I think we should bend this thought of new constitution. I'm sick and tired of it.
Thank you. I appreciate you. All right, Kamura DMA from First Act says, former presidential candidate of Labour Party, Peter Obi, was in Abga. There was a crisis in Abga, and he moved to the PDP, then he moved to the Labour Party, and there is now crisis in the Labour Party, and there is now crisis in the Labour Party, and then the empirical evidence point to the fact that Peter Obi is a problem, not the parties. Are you kidding me? He is a trader. He is not a leader. That is why he is trading blames when he should be providing solutions. Okay, dear Precious, good evening to you and our discussants in the house. In the part of the world, bullying is a norm in certain schools, considering the color of our skin. A boy called my son a black monkey once. The child was disciplined by the school authority. I teach my children to laugh at those bullying them. That is that it's not a way of life, rather to tell them they need Jesus, and it's been working for my kids. The pedophile should be jailed for assaulting a 13-year-old. Now, what for our politicians? Emeka Hedoha is heading to APC. Precious, please kindly check. Oh wow, check my email. You sent me something. I'd love to check. This is coming from Sammy from the United States. I appreciate you, Sammy. Sometimes when people talk about bullying, they make examples saying if the child see his or her dad slapping the mom. Hold on, please. I get too uncomfortable when men are used to describing the aggressor in such narrative. Why? Because these can register in the subconscious as seeing one gender as an oppressor. In a world where both male and female are of bad behavior, people should be conscious of using such dubious narrative. Again, when something happens in Nigeria, you see people posting different stories just to trend and gain views, not like they really care. People are very hypocritical, especially when they make it sound like a private school, this and that. You said a lot. I appreciate you. Unfortunately, I can't take all of your message because it's quite lengthy. This says, good evening, Precious. My name is Basi. I'm calling from Abuja. Political parties in Nigeria don't have ideologies because, technically speaking, we don't have political parties in Nigeria. What we have are more of political associations of politicians. Political association of Nigeria of politicians with similar interests finding themselves under the same canopy. This is like Aristotle's definition of Nigerian politics or Nigerian political parties. We should learn to quote this verbatim. Ima from First Act says, good evening, Precious and your guest. I want to drop my little 2 cents on this state police issue. I believe there are vested interests who will push the narrative for state police in order for states capture tendency as well as ethnic and religious oppression. So I think Nigeria should outsmart them by insisting that heads of all police outfits in each state should be voted by Nigerians and have full backing and paid by the law. So we should outsmart them by doing that. Precious, we know we now wait for accumulations of malaria before buying drugs. You go when the malaria gather where you don't get weight, they come buy malaria drugs, not just small symptoms. We rush to pharmacy, small symptom, rush, we don't do that again. We will wait till it enter the body where before going to buy drugs because we don't want to buy it 2 times. Can I go from face like Nigerians will not kill me? Gosh, you guys are so funny. Goodness me, I'm trying to open these messages. Okay, Tony Anele, your message says, I'm always inviting erudite and prolific analysts to my station. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. Honorable Emeka Hedo has made the best political decision of his life, which he would have taken when his party, the PDP, committed the worst political suicide in the 2023 Imo State PDP primaries, where they substituted him for less political significant figures, Sam Jaja Ayamu, right, with frilled nerves. My own Imo people must have nailed its political coffin, which will take its donkey years to resurrect. Not only Hedionha, it is resignation galore by both known and unknown quantities across different LGUs. Oh, is that the norm in Imo State? Everyone is just going, oh wow, interesting. All right, good evening, Precious. Mr. Chilaka, state police is no-go area. Look at present actions of Kogi governor and ex-governor, even just all the governors. The only solution is for the governors to go back to the era of IGP, that will say during which PMF, i.e. mobile, were being equipped and taking care of recruitment, and then he said a lot. All right. So, do you want to react to that very quickly? Just
those who believe that the late son that they will see as an IG did a lot. He set up the mobile police force. He made sure that they were available, and they were not just walking around carrying bags for politicians. They were there to curb things like uprising, protest, and all of that. But today, you see them all over the place. They are guards. They are guarding banks. They are, carrying bags and carrying plates for politicians. So we need to get out of that. We need to ensure that our policemen are well taken care of. They are well paid, and they're given good homes to stay in.
All right. So let's get straight into our step down conversation after the break. So there's this very interesting story I came across on social media. It's a Twitter thread, and it's so interesting. And I thought to ask you men, is that a wiser way to solve problems between your wives? When two wives are quarreling, two wives that are neighbors are quarreling, and you men now agree to gang up to disagree just to make them feel good. Lagos, I'm coming to that step down just after the break. Stay with us.
Listen to hot critical analysis and top trending topics of the day. Join Precious, Monday to Friday, 7 to 9 p.m. on The Evening Rush.
All right, Lagos, you are welcome back. It is still 90.3 Voice of the People FM. So, just listen very carefully to this story. Why you they laugh? I never even start the story. Don't they laugh? So, this Twitter user, but I am Abode, says, I got back from work this evening. My wife told me that she quarreled with my neighbor's wife. I was very shocked. Both women had lived in peace since we packed in. So I asked her what the problem was. She told me it was because of the rope where we dry clothes. So my wife wanted, she says my wife wanted to dry clothes, and my neighbor's wife wanted to also dry her own clothes too. One thing led to the other, and the quarrel started. As I was talking with my wife, my neighbor returned from work, and his hot-tempered wife began to shout at him. You better go and warn her husband to warn her, or else. My wife wanted to go out to confront her, but I held her back. If you want to allow me to go, she now says, if you won't allow me to go, then you better go out there and tell her husband to tell his wife to shut her mouth, or else I'll come for her. Two wives now, they tell husband, say, husband, will they send you message? So my wife was angry. She entered the bedroom in anger. I opened the parlor door and peep outside. At the moment, I saw my neighbor also opening the door to also come out to peep. I thought the man was coming to warn me as his wife instructed him, but he didn't. He came to me and said, Uncle Praise, I am sure you have heard about the drama. I nodded, yes, I have. And he says, my wife is very wild. I will not sleep this night if I don't do what she wants. She has asked me to warn you. I don't know if we can just act the drama small. And he says, I will warn you, and you will beg me to calm down so I can go home and sleep well this night. I can enter the room and sleep well this night. Uncle Praise now said, no, now if you want me and I start begging you, you will be sleeping well in your house, and my own wife will think that I don't have power. She will insult me all night for begging you. So what do we now do? So they now say, okay, so let us warn each other. You will warn me and I'll warn you back. Then when we warn each other very seriously, we then go inside the house and we both can go and sleep in peace. So that way, both women will know we stood for them. So the neighbors agreed, and then they started to warn each other. I warned him very seriously. He started warning me too. Soon we were shouting at each other. on top of our voices. My wife and his wife and mine came out. He ran to carry hoe. I followed back here too. I brought out machete. My wife started begging me to go inside. His wife also begged him to go inside. That was how we both entered inside the house and locked the door. There was silence in the compound. My wife kept rubbing my chest and telling me to calm down. While she was still rubbing my chest and my head, my neighbor sent a text and said, "It worked, though. Thank you, sir." And I told my wife to go and fetch me water to drink. And she stood up, I replied him, "You owe me a bottle of beer." And then I was still typing my message when my wife shouted from the kitchen, "But praise you, you have hot temper. Oh. Small quarrel like this, you've gone to carry machetes." And that's how they settled it. Now let's forget about the drama. So the point is would you say that this is the smartest way to have solved this kind of issue, to make your wives retain their egos and respect for you? Or did they just end up fooling the women? And some women were of the opinion that they couldn't tame their wives, that they would have tamed their wives and put them in their positions and ensured that they made peace with each other. But I find this quite interesting. What do you think?
Every man wants a peaceful home.
Oh wow!
It's you don't joke with it. Every man, most men, I wouldn't say every, some men don't, but most men want to have peace in their home. A man wants to come back to the arms of a loving wife, children. He just wants to unwind after all the stress at work.
So it was a wise decision.
For me, it was a wise decision. Because if, like people say, they can't tame their wives, in the process of taming their wives who do not want to be tamed, then the thing will get out of hand. But the women have, obviously they will settle. They will settle. Okay. Since they've seen that the men have settled.
So you think that was a wise way to settle? It was a wise way to settle. Hello, good evening to you. This is Step Down Conversation. Welcome. Hello, are you there?
Yeah, Precious, I had to call again.
John, I'm sorry, we have left that conversation. We're now on Step Down. Go ahead.
Wisdom is profitable to them.
Simple.
To play women 419, Abi, that's not fair.
You, the presenter, you they talk like say you know the power when I get.
I laughed my head out. I was crying laughing when I was reading that. When I saw it initially.
I used to tell myself that woman cannot tell me what to do before in my life. I said never I know the power. If you want peace, they hear happy wife, happy home. They hear that.
So this is not just this not just replica of happy wife, happy home.
That is the best decision. I feel that's the best decision. They were both wise enough as a man.
So the first man that has said I will warn you, then you beg me. The other man that said, if you don't want me, you go home and sleep. Me, I will not go home and sleep. So let's warn each other. It's better that way.
Now that is why God give man wisdom, make me take understand. Easy.
Thank you so much, John. I appreciate you. Thank you so much. Oh my God, I almost cried this afternoon, laughing my head out over this. Let me take some messages very quickly. So this here says this scenario shows that the two men got married to bandits. Stop it, please. That's too much. He said if this scenario was true, but the show the two men put up shows both women don't have sense. Calm down. It's not that deep. It's not that deep. Calm down. It says it shows that the two women don't have sense. How easy for them to be fooled, and this is how some women are for real. Then two mumu. Now what for you? Why they do like this now? Hello, good evening to you.
Precious, good evening.
Jova, step down. You're welcome.
Yes, so Prince Chilak.
Good evening.
I got it very well.
So now, see the way you cool down. You just make sure say no go put aqua.
Prince Chilaka. Wisdom will never injure you in Jesus.
So why are you guys supporting this? When they say you guys don't have the muscle to control your women, you can't tame your wives.
Precious,
sir.
You are a woman. You don't understand.
How? And I imagine you guys drinking beer and laughing over this, and the woman will feel like their husbands are agile.
Precious,
go ahead.
Precious, please. Let me tell you, those men, they have displayed wisdom beyond their understanding of the women. Do you know what they just did? They show that they understand, they know their women very well. Exactly. each man knows the woman he's married to. That is why they know. The other one said, if you want me, I'll go. I will not sleep in my own house too. So the way forward, they
want each other.
They reached a peaceful agreement.
They even carry machete home.
There's one interesting part of this story now that is making me to laugh.
Go ahead.
Do you know the interesting part of it?
Do what part?
The other man's wife told him, honey, I did not know you have this kind of Are you not seeing that the man has stylishly created fear in the heart of his woman now? The woman will no longer do gra before him.
Oh yeah, wisdom will
not kill.
I'll be going. All right, you guys will not kill me. Gosh. Okay. So he says, if this scenario was true, yeah, child. Okay. Okay. All right. I leave this message. And then this says, Precious, this shows how smart men are. So you want the man to just come back from work so tired, instead of eat and rest, you go and fight his neighbor and his neighbor's wife, Abi. Kenechiko from First Accent in that. Hello, good evening to you.
Hello, Precious. Good evening.
You're welcome. You're welcome. Go ahead, please. Remind us your name.
Good evening to Prince.
Prince can hear you. You're welcome. Go ahead.
Yes, all right, Precious, these women, though they are wise, but they didn't solve the problem. You understand?
Yeah.
It shows that they are not in charge in their marriage. No matter that they use wisdom to talk.
That's another angle.
It's temporary for that day. Just for another day now, they fight a real fight, and you are invited at the police station.
You think these two men will ever fight real fights?
I've experienced something like this. 2013. Now my wife had a quarrel with somebody. They called me from office to come home. From police station, somebody they let the call police for her, and my wife was not in 8 months old child. So I was invited at the police station. From my office, I went there. And when I went, I listened to you, listened to the acting, listened to the other lady, listened to my wife. I told my wife right inside the police station, now you are guilty. She look at me, I told her you are guilty. But there is nothing. You are guilty.
All right.
That is one thing with you.
All right. Thank you. Thank you.
We settled police and went on.
Thank you.
That is the end. Nothing I like has ever happened again.
All right. Thank you. Thank you so much. See, that's why I like Step Down. That's room for diversity. Yes, please. Variety of ideas. Yes, please.
There's this wrong mindset we have about wives and husbands, where people believe that if you do not stand your grounds, you are not in control of your home. Yes, you can stand your grounds in a very diplomatic way. You don't need to showcase strength,
to show that you're in charge.
That you're in charge.
But you know that you men will not say, I'm the man of this house. Do you want to be the man? Like say person they drag the manhood.
I've always had one view. I say, if you treat a woman right, leave her to be submissive.
Aki, you have a point. Aki, you're right. Let me go back to my messages. This says, good evening, Precious, and the guest, Passy from Ijego. That was a wise decision from both husbands. If not, it would have looked like what happened some years ago that turned both wives as widows. God no go great. Hello, good evening to you.
Good evening, Madam Precious.
Good evening, Akuchinyere. You're welcome. Go ahead.
Thank you, ma. Good evening, Prince Chilaka.
Good evening.
Well I want to say that these men are they're very good husbands, which somebody needs to marry. Yes, they are very, very wise and peaceful husbands. Thank God they did not go the way their wife wanted. Yes, thank God. And they also remember that if the man should go forward, should do what they want them to do. Maybe now. Those men may be in the hospital now. Thank God.
Thank you.
Yeah, that is all I have. Good night.
Good night. Thank you so much. All right, I go back to my messages now. This says, good evening, Precious. The men understood bro code. It's the women that they are constantly scattering and shattering the sister code, Abi sis code. Okay, so the drama did not work, and not the best way, because next time they will still quarrel again, hoping that they have lions to fight for them. Nah, that's not it. Except the women themselves no get sense, no vex. But I don't think it works that way. I say Igbo says DK ri eri ariri nani ya ibiri. the best thing to do is to shun your wife not to disturb you with her fellow women's issues. I'm Mobi from 7 and 8. Do you understand what he said? And what are you to interpret?
No, I don't understand, but what he said is totally unacceptable. Okay. If there are issues your wife brings to you, don't just shut her up, or don't just ignore. It is when you ignore that the thing gets out of hand. We must have a listening ear. It's very important. All
right. This AD says, Precious, this step down is the only way to go. Wisdom is profitable to direct. The men applied wisdom to deal with the unruly nature of their wives. Hi, women know my gender. People will not kill us. Hello, good evening.
Good evening, Precious.
You're welcome.
I think wisdom counts here. Wisdom counts here. Nobody should call them foolish men or this and that. Wisdom counts here, because if what the women wanted happened today, I don't know what would have happened, because maybe one would have died or go to police station. One thing would have happened. So sometimes we have to apply wisdom. So far, that is going to give us peace, give us unity. Look at one of the language, what the statement, the word of the wife. Something like this, you are carrying knife. So they will not go to it again, because you know that anytime something happens, the husband will go and carry knife, and he doesn't want any husband to kill somebody.
Thank you.
They are not foolish people. We will really count to good night.
Thank you so much. All right, this message here says, wow, good evening, Precious and my VOP families. This is pure wisdom. I have learned a lot. Men, and I don't learn from this. I have learned a lot. Women are like babies. I believe they will both come together the following day to gossip about their husband's drama. I am seriously laughing. Babies will always be babies. Babies. Okay, Raphael sent in that message. Let me have your concluding thoughts on all the issues we've raised this night, or perhaps just after this call, just this last call. This person is lucky. Hello, good evening.
Hello, Precious.
Sir?
Yeah, good evening.
Welcome. What's your name, sir?
Yeah, this is Mr. Izzy calling from Yanajibo.
You're welcome. Go ahead, please.
Yeah, what the two men did is very good. Shows that the incident that happened in
Our network will not let us hear you. Apologies. So sorry. Network is bad. This message says from King Joe, those men watched 2020 incident where two men killed themselves because of their wives, and the women later became friends. So they can't look and say a lie. Nobody will go be victim, right? Your parting shots, please, very shortly.
Looking at Nigeria the way Nigeria is today, it's one thing for us to accuse people for stealing, for embezzlement, but it's also one thing for those who are involved to know that they owe the Nigerian people an apology, public apology. So I'm calling on our leaders. It's not about how much you're going to take to yourself. It's about the well-being of those who have given their lives to you to rule over them.
All right.
So we need to have leaders who would be ready and willing to make sacrifices for the ordinary Nigerians and for the country to move forward.
Benny, thank you so much. I wanted to say amen. We'll just have to say the grace. This is the grace you've said already. Because that's the size of our package this evening. Thank you so much to everyone who's been a part of the show. Prince Francis Chilaka is an amazing man, and he joins me every Tuesday on the show. Thank you so much, Prince Francis Chilaka.
Happy birthday.
Thank you.
Gerard.
Happy birthday.
Chilaka.
How are we doing this Diary of a Wimpy Kid now? We'll talk about it off the camera. All right, Lagos. My name is Precious Enye. This show is produced by Promise. You can catch me across the social media handles, platforms. On Instagram, I'm at Precious. I'm so lazy on social media. I'm at Precious Enye Official. But YouTube, I'm at Precious Enye TV. Enye means friend, and I love to be your friend to the end because I love you. Good night.